This is gonna be a pretty cool and unique project, not something we really get to deal with a whole lot. So this is gonna be super cool, but this is not super cool. This is gross and dirty.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like.
What's up guys, it's Anthony with Atlantis Water Gardens, and today we are in Andover, New Jersey, and we're gonna be starting a custom waterfall renovation. Let me flip this camera around and show you what I'm talking about. So unlike most backyards where we're kind of starting with a blank slate with no hole dug or nothing, this one is already dug out. This is concrete. We're gonna be actually emptying this whole thing, cleaning it out, and then we're gonna be bringing in 3/4 inch clean stone. We're gonna level this off from side to side because it does slope down. And then we're gonna make our own custom reservoir down in here. We have about 32 large aqua blocks. We're gonna see what fits, and then we're gonna try and get them in all in here. And then as for this is not something that was placed. This is something that has been here for many, many, many years. And you see a lot of the vegetation's kind of grown through the cracks in it. It looks super cool with all the moss and lichens all over it. But you could tell it kind of was a waterfall starting from like right up in there and then just meandering all the way back down. With a waterfall like this, it leaks a lot because there is no liner and you're kind of just hoping that everything gets back down into the reservoir. We have a liner with us. We're gonna go through and pick out a lot of this vegetation and kind of really make this thing a little naked looking. We're gonna leave a lot of these ferns because they're actually pretty cool, but we're gonna clean out like all the leaves, some of these bigger trees, the weeds, and then we're gonna be doing something really cool up in here. But we gotta do some work right over here with closing up some of that gap, and then we have some gaps in the corners, so we have to go around this whole thing and really make sure that this bottom will hold water when we're done. See the little frog right there? So there's a couple little frogs in here. We're gonna get them all out of here. With all that said, let's get to work, let's get this thing cleaned up, and let's start making something of this.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like.
So I just ran out to go get our compactor from our shop. While I was doing that, the guys did a great job on getting this thing just about completely cleaned. Joe just finished up pressure washing the entire bottom. We're gonna go in and just kind of get out the rest of that with either the vacuum or just take a couple more buckets and some handfuls of that garbage out of there. Colby and Bully are up in our, what's gonna be our waterfalls here. They're still picking out a lot of the leaves. Like right where Bully is, there's a lot of these little deep pools where a lot of these bushes and trees were growing. So they're full of dirt, they're full of debris. So it's taking them a little bit longer to get it all, but we're doing a very thorough job because it's very tough to actually get up in here, and once we start building and doing all of our work up in there, it's gonna really limit our access. With that said, I think our pump is a little starved, so we're gonna unplug that, we're gonna get a vacuum out, and we're gonna vacuum out probably this whole section, really get it nice and clean before we come in here with the clean stone and anything else, and really start getting to work down here. So we are finally getting to work actually putting our aqua blocks into this reservoir. All the gravel that we put in, it took about 9 whole yards to fill from over here and level it out all the way to over here. Now over here, we only put about 1 inch or 2 of gravel just to kind of give it some base, that way we can kind of adjust it and really get it where we want it. And then over here, we ended up putting a couple feet of gravel. So that's why it took so much, because it sloped down like a pool. But we actually ended up with a little bit of extra, so that's gonna go over there because we're not putting any aqua blocks over there. We're doing 4 rows front to back this way, and then we're doing by 8 long ways. So that's gonna be about 32 of these large aqua blocks. Plenty of water storage for something like this. And then even accounting for all the gravel space, it will fill with water. Not a whole lot, just because there is so much gravel, but there will be some extra water storage in all this gravel. I got all my tools over here. I got my levels, my mallet. I'm going through and really just making sure this is super level, so that way when Colby comes back, he's bringing back he's bringing back 2 yards of 1 to 3 inch river stone, that like nice and smooth cobbles that we use in wetlands and stuff like that. And we're gonna really block in all around these aqua blocks to make sure they don't move at all over time. We're gonna pack these in super tight, and then we even got a nice thin layer that we're gonna put on the top when we're all said and done. But as soon as Colby's back, this should be all leveled out and ready to go. He'll just have to back the truck up right about there, and then we'll be scooping out of it. We are starting to wrap up. I'm picking up a lot of our tools, kind of putting a lot of our stuff away in the trailer, because we are just about done with today. We got a lot done from cleaning out this thing and really getting it nice and clean, ready for some stone. We got 9 yards of clean stone in here. It doesn't look like it, but there's 9 yards of clean stone under here. And then on top of the clean stone is our aqua blocks that are nice and leveled side to side, front to back. And then we've been chalking in all around the entire thing here with 1 to 3 inch river stone. All that's left now is just to kind of get this area up to the same level as the top of the aqua blocks. We're gonna pack up what's left of our garbage and we'll be out of here, and then we'll be back tomorrow to get to work on this and getting some rocks placed down here. But that's tomorrow. We are back for day 2 here in Andover, New Jersey, and we brought a little friend with us and him. We got some rocks, we got the crane. Foley's doing a little bit of work, just kind of neatening up where the pump is gonna be going. And we are gonna get right to work here, setting some rocks, setting some big boulders, because we have a ton of work to do. We brought the crane in this morning, we got it all set up. We got our mats all on the floor to help protect the green here and the driveway.
So this is a tight access job. We couldn't bring the excavator down here. We got a brand new paver driveway and all that. So we brought the spider crane in. We're gonna pick the rocks out of the truck, set them on top of this reservoir, creating like some cool outcroppings, some planting areas, and then maybe even a pooling area where it comes off the face of that rock.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good for an amateur. You see Joe's already up there. We got that first rock strap, lowering the crane down to get it. So we're getting to work. I think it's time I put the camera down, give these guys a hand.
Alright guys, it's trivia time. Remember to drop your answers in the comments below. This week's question: how long do you think that this rock has been sitting in its current place?
This was really a unique project. So many things had to come together for this to actually function. This old concrete pond that was here, we're talking like 50 or 60-year-old concrete pond that they poured up against this monolithic piece of ledge rock. I've seen these situations before and they just don't work because they leak. And this one itself is going to leak. We knew that, and they've got a well that's actually going to feed this and top this off. It's a complex system where there's a float. It's going to top it off when it needs water, but then the other pump is running the waterfall. Now you can see what we actually built here with this reservoir. So we've got 1,500 gallons of storage here. We brought in all these nice pieces of stone to set in to create this pooling area. Bib this so that when it does run, it holds water on top and then disappears. I promise you, when I turn this thing on, it's gonna blow your mind, because it's gonna blow my mind. I know it. So let's fire it up and see what it looks like. That's nuts. You're talking like almost 20 feet high. We did a lot of clearing in the rock work to make it so the water could spread out and travel down the face of this rock and still stay within the footprint of what we created. I don't know how we could have done it any better. It looks so awesome. I've seen these scenarios probably at least a dozen or more times, and I've never been in a situation where I could actually make it work because there was no way to keep the body of water full. There's no way to make a good mechanical seal from this concrete structure to the rock itself, because the rock actually bleeds, it sweats. Rock will move, especially here in the Northeast, and the shell would crack away from it. You could try probably underpinning it into the rock and pour it in, but you're talking about an astronomical feat to make that happen. This situation where it's being constantly filled by the well, which is dedicated to this, is the only way this could work. And I am impressed. I'm impressed with this thing. I actually want to stop back here and see what it looks like at night, because we actually planted lights in there and you can't even see the wires. We took a grinder and ground channels and ran the wires up in there. Boley and Joe and Anthony and Colby, those guys all did an awesome job climbing up in there to make all that happen and chipping the stone away to make it so that we can have all these different waterfalls. Whew. What do you guys think? I mean, not your normal pondless waterfall, but pretty awesome nonetheless. Hit me down in the comments. Tell me what you might have done differently to make this work, or maybe you've done a boulder waterfall in the side of a mountain before. I don't know, I haven't. Hit that subscribe button, come on back. We're here every week creating out of this world water features and showing you how we do it. See you on the next one.